You see Levels.io and Marklu building simple apps and making millions. Their secret? It's not their code. It's something far more valuable. Something that I realized after my most recent startup failed, and when I changed it around, my life completely changed in 100 days. Hey, I'm Robin, and just 3 months ago, I was working on an AI startup called Context. We were using AI to generate endless content for podcasts. We are this close to receiving a scholarship enabling us to work full-time, and also we are this close to getting support from a high-profile angel investor. After nearly a year of building, we were finally about to make it, but then everything fell apart. And my co-founders and I realized we had different visions for the near future. After a difficult conversation, I decided to walk away. I felt devastated. 1 year of work just vanished. But sometimes things have to fall apart so something better can come together. Around that time I discovered Mark Lu's content. He was this guy building simple apps in just a couple of hours and making millions. He didn't have a complex architecture or crazy features. It was just his personal brand. He has a huge following on Twitter and other social media. He wasn't just building products, he was building a brand, his personal brand. That gives him an unfair advantage and makes launching easy and distributing easy. That's when it clicked. Instead of jumping into yet another complex AI startup, building for months and months and nobody seeing what I'm building, I decided to build something else first, my personal brand. I downloaded the Twitter app, I logged in with my old account from 2014, which I used to comment on Minecraft YouTubers' content. I deleted all of my posts and just wrote something that came to mind and hit post. And today, I have an engaged community of nearly 2,000 followers and I've made over 5,000 in revenue. And there's no fancy strategy, no paid promotions, just authentic content and real connections. So let me show you the key lessons that I learned so you can do the same and grow your personal brand, grow a community, and finally make some money online. First thing, you need to do the right content. When I first downloaded the app, I scrolled the timeline. I saw a bunch of posts and thought to myself, I need to do similar posts. So I did my first post, and for a couple of first weeks, all the posts didn't perform well. I didn't know why at that time, but now I do. My timeline was full of shit posts. All these people posting random questions, doing engagement bait, doing these let's connect posts, which I did as well. But this wouldn't bring me anything. These are not valuable and those just doesn't work if you don't have already a big following. So I stopped doing these posts. I started providing value, trying to help other people and documenting my journey. When I would build something, I would start from day one and post and write about what I am building, how I am building it. I would give technical insights into the code. I would post about problems that I have. I would ask questions if anybody has experience with this or can give me tips, and that's what finally worked. These posts would actually perform great. I would get more reach, not crazy, but I would get any reach and engagement instead of everything that I did before. So it's not about copying others, but it's about you. It's about your journey, it's about what you do, and try to be authentic and just post on your journey and document your journey. Point number 2, engagement is the most important thing when you start out. So even though I provided value, my posts wouldn't get thousands and thousands of impressions or lots of likes or comments because nobody cared about what I say. Nobody knew me and I didn't know anybody. So what I did, I was getting obsessed with engaging and commenting under other people's posts. I would go through the timeline to community, to lists, and scroll and find content that I like and comment under it. If anybody would ask a question, I would try to answer this question. I would even do research to answer this question. I would DM people, ask them about what they are building, how they're building, how they grew on X. And that was actually the most time that I did, and it was super time consuming, but it was super valuable. I made real connections, real friends, and I even created a Discord community full of indie makers that are also on X, following the same goal, and we help each other. I would consider us friends now. They help me, I help them, we love, we share values, we share experience, we support each other. And once I had first 10, 20 people that are real connections, where we would daily chat together and exchange information, exchange value, exchange experiences, that's when my posts started to get more and more engagement. I would get more likes, they would share the posts. They would comment it, they would support me, they would give me tips on how to improve my content writing, and vice versa. I would help them as well. And that was a turning point. We are still very close contact, we have growing community, and that's what made Twitter fun, right? I have a group of people that follow the same goal and are on the same journey, and we can change and learn together. And that was a turning point. So don't treat your followers just as a number, but treat them as people that you are really connected to. These are your biggest supporters, and you should be their biggest supporter. It's not just a number. These are real people with real stories, and they should be real connections. Point number 3, consistency is key. When you start with Twitter and you go and watch videos about how to really do it. When I first started Twitter, I would watch videos just like this one about how to really post on Twitter. What should I consider? What times should I consider posting? Where should I post to? But this is all wrong. You shouldn't obsess with the time. You shouldn't obsess with where to post. When I first started Twitter, I was watching videos just like this one. I would type in how to grow on X, and then I would watch videos, people telling me about the data, like what time should I post to, when should I post to, how often should I post to. And I followed this information. I was obsessing with the data. I was going to premium analytics, watch when is my community the most active. And I would post, but it wouldn't make any difference. I still wouldn't get any reach. And why? Well, that's simple. You don't have real data and you are overcomplicating. If you don't have thousands of followers, it doesn't matter. You should just focus on being consistent. You should post whenever fits the best, and you should post whenever you can. It's not about posting at the right times. It's about being consistent with your post, posting every day, showing up every day for months and months. If you have multiple post ideas or multiple posts in a row, you should obviously give them some space, maybe 2 to 4 hours between your posts. For that, I use a tool called Typefully, link is in the description, and I would just put my posts on there, schedule them to some times, and don't worry about it. So you have a queue of posts. Even if you get sick or you are busy, you still have some posts. I will have like a schedule in Typefully, which is one post at 8 a.m, one post at 12 a.m, one post at 5 p.m. and one post at 10 p.m. And that's it. I just don't care about anything else. And if I have random post ideas in between, I just post them in between, and that's fine. If they don't get impressions, that's it. It wasn't a time, maybe it was just the wrong post, or it wasn't well written or anything. But don't obsess with this. Just do post consistency for a long time, every day, 1 to 5 posts a day, and maybe you will then get lucky shots. For me, I've seen the most growth with random posts that went randomly viral. It's just a couple of posts, you can see them right here. It's not that every post will consistently perform well. There are ups and downs. You just have to be consistent, stick with it. Even if the impressions are low, still post, and maybe you get a lucky shot and grow. It's about long-term growth. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So the key takeaway is consistency beats perfect timing every time. And now a bonus point for you guys. Communities are a game changer. For me, there have been times where my posts on my timeline would get lots of reach, and then times where it just wouldn't get any reach, even though I already have over 1,000 followers. And that is really similar to when I started first. My first posts wouldn't get any reach on a timeline, but posting in communities worked really well. I would get consistently well and good impressions when I would post into communities. So, for example, if you're an indie maker, I can recommend Build in Public community. It has over 40,000 people. So whatever your niche is, go look for some big communities on X, post into there. I would recommend a ratio of 2 to 3 posts in communities and 1 post on your timeline a day. Especially post more often to these communities if your reach is low. Try to be present in those communities, not only posting but commenting there, helping people, and maybe even create your own community. That could also pay out on the long run. So leverage communities to accelerate your growth. So there you have it, guys. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated. Stick to the basics, be consistent, be patient, and sooner or later you will see results, and it will be easy to distribute your apps and your products and build your personal brand. Maybe not now, maybe not in a year, maybe not in 2 years, maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, who knows. But it's definitely worth pursuing, and just start posting, be genuine, engage with people, help people, and yeah, that's it. Your audience is waiting. I wish you all the best. Drop a comment below telling me about your biggest Twitter learning and what was your biggest struggle when you started Twitter. And yeah, see you in the next one.